Right, the carbs are now fitted, so the cables are fitted, the carbs have been fitted on, and I'm going to show you how I like to balance them. You can also see that I've been to work robbing bits off my spare LC, including the top airbox and the battery door. I'm still missing the lift rail though, which bolts onto the back, so I'm going to have to sort one of those. So the throttle cables. So the throttle cable goes on, and there's an adjuster at the top, but there's also an adjuster on each carb. So I've taken the slack out of both of them, but there's still plenty of slack in there. I don't like them to be tight, so I've adjusted them both, and I make sure I wind out these throttle stop screws right out, so they're not interfering with anything. We'll come to these pilot screws later on. So these throttle stop screws are wound right out on both of them, and I'm now going to show you how I go about balancing them. Okay, so let's balance the carbs. Now, both of the carburetors have a little sight glass in them, and there's a little dot on the slides, and you can see them in there, but I don't think that's accurate enough. I like to do it a little bit better than that. So the cables are all on, and the cables all properly routed to make sure there's no, that's why I wanted to make sure this top was on the box before I did this, because I didn't want to be moving the throttle cable after I'd got them all balanced up. So the first thing I do is I put a cable tie round the throttle and pull it against the brake and pull that nice and tight, so that now when I rotate the throttle, I put my finger on the slide and I rotate that all the way up till that is nicely at the top. I'll just make sure it's super tight, and I put my finger in there and make sure it's just nicely flush on there. This is why it's important that you slacken all the throttle stops off. I'll put my finger in that one. Now I can feel the slide there. I can feel the bottom of the slide, and it's completely flush on the other side. So what I do now is I just wind that adjuster up. It's taking quite a bit of winding that, but these are pattern cables and never as good as the originals. So let's just double check that again. The cable tie is holding the throttle in the open position. Oh no, it's dropped. That probably explains why it is. Don't want to. Let's get it tighter. Yeah, that's completely flush there. That's not moving. Stay. And then get your finger in there. Yeah, that's too much now, so I'll wind it back until I can feel the slide come back and touch my finger, which he is doing just about now. Right, that's completely flush with the top of the carb inside. Yeah, that is completely flush. You can just feel it a little bit, which is really annoying. So I'll do it again. Right, that's completely flush. Yep, that's completely flush. So get yourself a little 10mm and an 8mm and tighten up the lock stops. So an 8mm on there, 10mm on there. That's it, and lock these cable adjusters off, because you know they're right. I'm a bit obsessed with carbs. They have to be just right. So now it's done, I'll check it again. Yep, that's perfect. They're completely flush. So I can get rid of the cable tie. So we know that it's lifting them both evenly. So no matter where we are, and that's why we've got the lock stops right out, so it's not affecting anything. So they're lifting in parallel, exactly at the same height at the same time. Now the throttle stops. What I do here now is, again, I use my finger. So I put my finger in there and I rest it on the slide, and I turn that in, and you can feel when it contacts and starts to move. There. So you can feel just when it starts to move there. So I get it to the point where it just starts to move, and then I turn the lock stop, or the throttle stop, 90 degrees. So I'll just look at the angle of that slot. I'll just undo it again to show you. So you put your finger in there, you adjust it, you turn it, so you can feel your finger just start to move, and that's at that angle there. So I just turn that now to 90 degrees and give that half a turn. So that's half a turn. And the idea is that you get them both the same, and then when you got the engine running and you want to adjust it, you adjust them equally. So again, put my finger in there, touching the slide, pressing against the slide, and I start to wind this in with the screwdriver. There. And as soon as I feel it start to move, I back it off just so it's right at the point of where it starts to move, and then I give it half a turn. And that's it. That's how I balance the carbs. Now the cables are both lifting up evenly. The lock stops are set at just off the contact point. And what I also like to try and do, just to prove the point, you can just about get your fingers in there and put one finger on one slide and your thumb on the other one. It's really quite fiddly, and turn it, and you can feel them both moving at the same time. And yes, as I touch it there, I can feel both slides starting to lift at the exact same time, which is perfect. Just how it should be. Right, I've balanced the carbs, and I'm just going to steam into it now. I'm just going to put the exhausts on. I'm not going to put the side panels back on yet. I'm going to put the exhausts on, put some fuel to it, and see if it runs. I've also got the main stand. I brought the main stand from work, so I'm going to get rid of this jack now, and let's just see what happens. forget to bleed the oil pump. I've just put 2-stroke oil in it, and now I've taken out the little screw out of the oil pump, and I'm going to wait for the oil to appear, and then that's the oil pump bled. Still waiting. Bingo! We have oil. Put the screw back in. That's good. Getting closer. That's not going to work, is it? No. First things first, turn the pressure on. See if it leaks, because they usually do. Just wipe that little spillage of 2-stroke oil up. Chair out of the way. Oh, there you go, sure enough, it's pissing out. And it's pissing out of that one. So we'll give that a tap. Again. See if it's still at it. And no, it stopped. Good. Right, the moment of truth. The question is, does it run? Which would help to connect the ignition. This is rubbish, by the way. I'm going to replace this later on. That's a rubbish connection. Right. We have ignition. Right, so there's fuel in it. There's engine oil in it. There's 2-stroke oil in it. I've bled the 2-stroke pump. We did have a spark. The exhausts are on. Who knows what's going to happen? Will it run? Who knows? Well, it's time to find out. It's on its main stands. Oops. Let's give it some choke. Right, we'll just start it again. Now I've opened the garage doors and let all those fumes out, and we'll just see if we can get it to tick over a little bit. So you remember when I was setting the carbs, I got the put my fingers in and turned it till I felt the slide start to move, and then I've turned them both in half a turn. So I can just turn them both in another half a turn now, half a turn at a time, and then you know that you're keeping it the same. Let's just try that. One more. Right, so welcome back. So we're nearly there now, it's virtually finished. As you can see, the only other things I've done is I've finally got the seat. The seat's arrived, I've put that on. I've put the main stand on, and it's virtually finished. The last little piece of Mark Cardwell's bodywork is here, which is a belly pan. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I like the belly pans. I'm not keen on the nose fairings, but I like the belly pans. So this was part of the body kit that I bought off Mark Cardwell. So I haven't, this is the first time I've seen it, although I've seen it before because it's the third set I've had of it. So I know what to expect. So there we go. Beautifully painted in the bounty colours. They're a bit of a bitch to put on these, but there you go. Beautifully painted matching belly pan. And this is a fitting kit, and like I say, these are a bit of a bitch, so I'm just going to put something soft down there so I don't scratch it. that's it, done. Belly pan on, bike's done. RD350LC. It's absolutely, it's about -3 outside at the moment and a thick frost. So as soon as the sun comes up, I'll try and get it outside and start it up, and possibly even have a little ride on it just to finish the video off. So there we have it, RD350LC, finally done and finished. Everything done on it. And what a nice job it's turned out. What a lovely bike, considering it was just a box of bits, horribly painted and left abandoned in someone's lockup for 20 years. And there it is now. Done, finished, ready for the sun to come out and to get out onto the road. That bodywork is really nice. So again, thanks to Mark Cardwell for the bodywork and everyone that's helped in the LC club. I'm quite happy with it. I think it's turned out very well. Let's hear it run. Oops. Right, that's it. That's the LC done and finished. So let's just hear it run. I'd like to do a little video of riding it, but it's like -3 outside and full of frost, and there's no way I'm going to ride this in those conditions. I'll wait for the summer. But let's fire it up and see how it runs. Oops. Wobbly.